Look to your left, now look to your right. Now look to everyone else in the building. Think about how you know them, how they've impacted your life and the lives of those around you. Now imagine that it's them or you next saying, I can't breathe, or I didn't do anything, or what are you following me for? In 1964, Fannie Lou Hamer said, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. In her time, she was talking about the white supremacists and bigots keeping Black America down. But when I think of that quote, that's not all I think about. I think about how sick and tired I am of someone who's being complicit and submissive in our own demise, and is inexcusable. The time is right for us to stop turning a blind eye to our brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters being massacred without rhyme, reason, or consequence. Dr. King once said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. Silence at this time is unacceptable when the cries of those suffering are deafeningly loud. I'm sure there are people listening to this who would like for me to say that it's not our fault and that we're powerless. But if we were as powerless and impotent as some of us believe, this fight would have been over long before it started. Speaking from experience, the only thing that's worse than a bully is a bystander. Someone who apathetically witnesses injustice with their own eyes and remains silent from start to finish. Bystanders often lack the will, strength, or compassion to do what's right and speak up out of fear of the oppressor. And instead of using that fear to fuel the fire and oppose those who kill us, we use it as an excuse to stay silent and suffer. Dr. King said, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Can you imagine the soul-shattering heartbreak of experiencing your supposed friends staying silent and humanly emotionless as you openly suffered? Dr. King knew that remaining silent was simply not an option for the plans he had to change the world. He knew that in order to inspire a spark of resistance in the people, he would need to make his voice heard by everyone. Regardless of what it eventually cost him, his voice being heard changed everything. Not just for his congregation, county, or city. He changed the way of life for all Black people across the world to follow in his footsteps and resist white oppression. But it wasn't just him. Dr. King had a chorus of millions speaking out alongside him. It is up to us to speak out as our parents and grandparents did and continue to maintain the spirit that Dr. King has instilled in all of us. Thank you.